Hello, everyone. Welcome to this edition of Across the Bifrost, the Mighty Thor podcast, where on each and every episode, we explore the world of Marvel's Mighty Thor. I am your host, Ryan Doze, with my good buddy, my fellow Warriors 3 member, Faz, freshly returned from New York Comic Con. On this episode, Faz is going to kind of just give us a Thor report from what happened at New York Comic Con. But Faz, I feel like, buddy, we haven't hung out in forever. And it's really a crime against the people of Midgard that we have not hung out in forever.
That is right, bitches. Tales of Fazgard V2. Let's
Tales of Fazgard Part 2. That's right.
This is the second issue of what will be an ongoing series. The previous one was kind of an anthology series to get through everything that happened at every Comic-Con I've ever been to. This one is specifically aimed at New York Comic-Con, which is the best con there is. Okay.
Better than San Diego.
Better than San Diego, in my opinion. If only because, and this is getting into the nitty-gritty, San Diego Comic-Con is great for meeting comic people, but for meeting celebrities, they will do big panels, but they don't really meet people. Whereas New York Comic-Con has them as actual guests, like at a traditional Comic-Con, where like you can meet Elizabeth Olsen, you can meet Tom Hiddleston, you can meet Chris Evans, and they've got the same, if not more, of the comic people, because that's where Marvel and DC and the other big brands do portfolio reviews.
But portfolio reviews, what do you mean?
Like that's where if you're an aspiring comic artist, you would go to meet with Marvel or DC. I think they do it at other big cons as well, but like when you walk into the comic area of New York Comic Con, there's a big like, want your portfolio reviewed? Come here. And then they go and they look at your stuff and go, you suck, or you might have a place in this business. They told me I sucked. It's very sad. No, I'm kidding.
They didn't like my stick figures.
Yeah, my stick figures were disappointing. I told them that it was a style I was going for, and they told me to get the fuck out of their car.
It was a style I was going for. Well, I know there's do you know the comic book artist Jeffrey Brown?
I do not. Does he do stick figures?
Jeffrey Brown has a very like children's book kind of style. Cool. And he's done like variant covers. He did a Thor and Loki variant cover about a year back. He has a very almost like
is he the one that's like Calvin and Hobbes sort of?
It's kind of like Calvin and Hobbes. Like I was thinking like a Charles Schultz Peanuts kind of vibe. But
what's his name again?
Jeffrey Brown. He did a Thor and Loki children's book a few years ago, and it was very good.
Yeah, that is very Charlie Brown. So
you could just be like, oh hey, I'm going for like a Jeffrey Brown kind of thing. It's like, yeah, but his version is good and your version is shitty.
His is actually good. He's chosen to do that. I'm not capable of doing more than that. Yeah.
you just like you pitch yourself as, I'm kind of like a poor man's Scotty Young.
I'm kind of a poor man's, I'm a very, 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 very poor man's Russell Dodderman is what I say.
I am a broke ass Russell Dodderman. I'm not even a poor man. I'm just flat out broke.
I actually owe huge amounts of money.
I am in debt. I am in debt to the comic book industry with how good I am at drawing comics, which is to say, I am the antithesis of a Dodderman or a Cocolo or any Asad Ribic. Like, if I showed my comics to Asad Ribic, he'd be like, "Get this shit out of my face," or so I imagine.
It really depends. I have on good authority now that if you meet him during the first half of the con, he is filled with, for lack of a better word, piss and vinegar. And if you meet him near the end, he is just tired and friendly like a teddy bear.
So always meet Assad on the back end of a con. Okay.
Sunday's where it's at, everybody. Yeah.
We'll have to ask him. We've talked about this. We'll have to ask him because you met him again at New York Comic Con. Mm-hmm. We'll have to have him on again if he's willing to do it, to talk about Aliens versus Avengers, because his art is just stunning in that. But ask him, like, do you prefer the beginning of a con or the end of a con? He'd be like, I prefer none of it.
But, he's gonna be like, why do they bring me to these things?
Oh my gosh, he is such a vibe. Like the one chat we had with him, he's such a vibe. But Faz, like Thor stuff. Let's start off with like Thor stuff at the con. Okay. And then I know lots of cosplay stuff. You and Reed from Reed's Props Plus, you guys had a really cool moment during the cosplay contest. A lot of Thor stuff. You met a lot of Thor creators. Where do you want to go with it, man?
So the starting point has to be the Owl Father.
The Owl Father, yes.
So to set the tone, listeners, Al Ewing was announced as one of the guests for DC's All In Absolute panel. To be clear,
because he is writing Green
Absolute
Lantern?
Green Lantern, yeah.
Yeah.
And also Metamorpho, the Absorbing Man.
Oh.
So in All In, he's doing
Stop.
Metamorpho, and then in Absolute, he's doing Green Lantern. His pitch for Green Lantern was bonkers, by the way. You guys are going to love what he's doing, as you can imagine.
Okay.
Like, the first panel is a giant Green Lantern has crushed a city. Like,
Oh my
like the
gosh.
lantern itself. And he's like, what the fuck happened? Let's find out. He said Metamorpho, this is at the panel, Metamorpho will make you forget your troubles, and Green Lantern will give you new ones.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and he said it in his very nice, like, Scottish or British or Irish or whatever it is, drawl. It was very nice. Anyway, so Al's there only for this panel. He doesn't have
only
a table.
For the panel. Okay.
There's no way to kind of get in contact with him. And he's sitting at the very front corner with a mask on. So the only chance I'm going to get to meet him is via seeing the panel, which is still cool. Seeing him in the wild, very special, right?
Seeing him in the wild.
This panel also has every other artist and writer at DC except Mark Waid and Jim Lee, I think. I think everybody else was there.
Wow.
So there were like 30 people there, a bunch of editors standing at the side. It was crazy. They all talk about their stuff. They pitch. They all leave when it's over. First problem I have is I'm going to need to now add a billion things to my pull list because every Absolute book sounds absolutely insane. And
Absolute Batman sold out like instantly.
Yeah, they all are. Wonder Woman's now sold out too. And it comes out in like a week or two. Yeah. So they all finish their stuff. They all leave. Except for Mr. Ewing, who's kind of slowly sauntering out and pausing.
Interesting.
So I decide...
Like to talk to people?
No, he's just standing there. He's like not sure, like, because everybody else has to go back to their booths or their next panels or whatever. He was only there for that. So he's just kind of sitting there. And I was like, all right, well, if I made
this is my chance.
My shot. I got here way early for this panel. I'm not even a DC Comics guy. Let's do it. And I go, excuse me, Mr. Ewing, I was just wondering if I could like maybe take a selfie with you. And he was like, hell yeah, man, let's do this. And he took off his mask and we took a photo.
Yes.
And then he saw that I had a bag of books in my hand and he said, do you have a pen? Because I mean, I'd be happy to sign all those. And listeners,
are you serious? He offered to autograph those things?
He offered, and the first problem I had is that I didn't have a Sharpie. I didn't bring one with me. So I said, I'd love to have a Sharpie. 7 people behind me, Mr. Ewing, I have a Sharpie, don't worry, you can use mine, it'll be all good. And Al goes, perfect. He takes the Sharpie, starts signing my books. So he signed Immortal Thor #1.
Obviously.
He signed Immortal Thor #1 foil variant with a paint pen from somebody else.
Oh, is that the Martin Colo?
That's the Martin Colo one. Yep.
Okay.
And then he signed Immortal Thor 15, the first appearance of Faz via a letter.
Oh, did he sign the actual letter part?
No, he signed the cover of the book.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Man.
So he signed those 3 things. We chatted a bunch. We referenced the podcast. He told me to contact the editor, and I was like, oh, little do you know, buddy, we did. And he was
we know Will Moss.
and he was like, oh, okay, well then can you have Will remind me, like flip me that email because I'm really busy, but I'll get to it eventually. So no promises, listeners. I think it's unlikely to happen because he literally announced like 7 books he was working on at this convention.
Yeah, he's one of the busiest men in comics.
But, he's not against it, which is a good start. We also talked a bunch about the way he described himself was, I'm like a mystical creature. Very, very hard to find. But if you find me, I will do whatever you want.
Oh my gosh.
And went, well, okay, not whatever you want. I will sign however many books you have. I will take whatever photos you want. I will happily talk about my comics with you, is what he said. So it was really cool.
Sounds so cool.
Then we spent 3 minutes talking about paint pens because he didn't like the brand of paint pen that the person gave him, and he just wanted everybody to know that there's a better one available. For the life of me, I can't remember what the brand was, but I can tell you he was very passionate about paint pens. And we talked about every person in line kind of told him what book was the thing that was so important that Al had done.
Yeah.
And they were all different, right? Like there was an Agent of Asgard person. There was Thor like me. There was Immortal Hulk. Just a whole bunch of different stuff. He and I were chatting and he figured he doesn't do the table at New York Comic Con, guys, for a very noble reason. The tables are very expensive and they have to pay for them themselves. So that's
Yeah.
why they charge, say, $10 a signature, $30 a comic or whatever
It
when they
makes
go to things
sense.
to make their money back. Maybe they make more, the big ones do, but it's not like it's mainly to make sure that it's paid for when they get back to their fans. Al doesn't like doing that because he doesn't want to charge people for his autographs.
Really?
But the problem is he's like a 6 foot something heavier set, big bearded man who wears a mask through the convention.
Yeah.
So he's one of maybe 1,000 people that look like that throughout the con. So his idea is people will see me, they'll come say hi, I'll sign the books and everything will be good. But he went through 3 days of New York Comic Con and nobody had stopped him once because they couldn't tell it was him. So he was like, I get it. I've clearly got to get the table. I'm going to do it next
Yeah.
time. It'll happen because clearly, like, people really want to meet me. Like, when I
Oh,
stopped, like,
yeah.
a lineup of like 30 people from the room stayed. They actually kicked us out of the room and then he stayed outside. And when I decided to leave because I was taking up too much of his time, he was nowhere to be. He was like, I'm spending the rest of the day with you guys to make sure everybody gets what they want. So,
Wow.
like, such a nice guy, very, very good reasoning for why he doesn't have a table. He was going to find a friend with a table, and then he also doesn't use social media except for Blue Sky because he doesn't like
Yeah.
a lot of the owners of the other ones. So he was like, I can't really announce anywhere where I'm going to be, but I'll put it on Blue Sky if you have Blue Sky. But he would like to do that again. So hopefully next year at an American Comic Con, Al will be an actual guest, and you could see him there, and you can sign the stuff. So Al Ewing, 10 out of 10 experience.
Love me some Al Ewing.
Told Alex she's very upset that she didn't get to meet him. So hopefully he goes to MegaCon Orlando. Otherwise, she might blame me for the death of her children and then start an entire plan where I'm framed for murder and then have to leave Midgard because I've got a hazing spell around my brain while I'm there. In
I do love
in
Alex's
revenge, yeah.
ability to hold a grudge.
You know,
She
the
commits. She commits
the
to the bit.
enchantress powers are there, right?
So
So
another
that's Al.
you met several Allfathers.
I did. I
You
met three
you also
Allfathers during this trip.
so you've met Jason before.
Yep.
Was there anything new about your interaction with Jason this time? Because then I know the last one you've been waiting to meet for a long time.
Yeah, so the last convention I met Jason. So last year at New York Comic Con was the like, you're the reason I read comics. I'm
Yeah,
wearing the
yeah.
costume that's based off of your work. You mean a lot to me, great to meet you. That time he told me Assad was there. So that's when I met Assad as well.
Who's a
This time,
mountain of a man.
who was a mountain of a man. And more on that later, listeners. Ooh, foreshadowing. Can't leave to the
Yikes.
end of the podcast now. This
Yikes.
time it was like, hey, Jason, how's it going? Because I'd just seen him in August. And he
At what
didn't
other con?
at Terrificon.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah, Ryan,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you got to read Tales of Fazgard V1 in order to understand what happens in the second issue, right? That's how this works. Yeah.
I was there. Do not recite the deep magic to me. I was there when it was written. So you meet Jason this time. You actually
So
ran into him multiple times.
meet Jason this time. Have him sign the ash can for Absolute Superman. Talk about how hyped I am for it, and he tells me. So firstly, spoilers, listeners. Jason Aaron's awesome. I don't know if you guys know that. He's very
He's
cool.
so cool.
And every time I meet him, because I look wildly different each time because of cosplay. This time I'm in a full Daredevil costume. So
Yeah.
the last time I was in Blue Love and Thunder Thor with the gold mask on. And the time before that, I was in Thor from his run. So I was like, it's Faz again. And he's like, Faz. And like, the one who just across the Bifrost with right. Oh, I love you guys, is what he said. So Jason Aaron's a big fan of us, which is great because we're a big fan of that man. And
The feeling is
him,
mutual, sir.
yeah, so that was at the beginning of the con for me. So I asked him if he knew where Al Ewing would be. He had no idea. He said something similar to Al is a mythical creature, and if you find him, he will do anything. Well, not anything. Running theme of the week for Al. And then I went on my way because Jason was cool, got a couple books signed, and I ran into Donny Cates. Now I don't know if
The elusive Donny Cates.
yeah, I don't know if I told this story publicly or if it was just in our group chats, but I've been trying to meet Donny Cates for like 6 Comic Cons. He's been announced at so many, and the poor guy has had so much shitty stuff happen in his life that he's had to cancel all of them. It's like I don't hold it against him by any stretch, but I have a copy of A Funeral for the Allfathers that I've just been
such a good issue
sitting on for years at this point. And Donnie was there, and Donnie was sick, and Donnie signed my book, took some photos, very cool. That's 3 Allfathers in one trip, guys. All of the recent ones, in this year now, in 2024, Walt Simonson, Jason Aaron 3 times, if you include twice at New York Comic Con and also at Terrificon, Donny Cates, and Al Ewing.
I mean,
Not bad.
I mean, the Mount Rushmore of all fathers for Thor comics includes a lot of those men.
I think there are very few that are still living that would fit on that list still. So I
Oh
feel
yeah, I
quite
mean,
good about, yeah.
and we've made it very clear, like we want to meet them all. Like
Hmm.
we want to meet, Matt Fraction. We want to
Oh
meet
yeah.
J. Michael Straczynski, Dan
JMS would be great. Yeah,
Jurgens.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean JMS is
Oming
coming
for
back
just
to.
his Ragnarok arc was so good. Like there's so many that we would love to meet, but a lot of them don't do conventions because like JMS does like TV shows and stuff now.
Right, like he is coming back to write a lot of Marvel stuff though.
Yeah. Yeah. I think they gave him the
Fat,
keys. Yeah.
Vaz, before we have to wrap this show up, I really, really want you to tell people about the cosplay contest because you put on a full show for
So
people.
before doing that though, quick hit, guys.
Okay.
Last year, Assad Ribic.
Oh, right,
Man
right.
was full of piss and vinegar. Super angry about everything. Told me that my cosplay, not bad.
Yes, I remember that.
Errors here or there, and then he showed me the Marvel Legends gore, and he's like, "Look at this shit."
Look at this shit.
They gave him 2 regular legs. He has 1 leg, and he has goat leg. He has goat leg. They didn't give the goat leg. They give this to me. They think I'm gonna like this. What the fuck? Anyway,
that was the first, gonna like this.
First meeting with him was like that. Very funny. Stood up to take a photo. The man is probably
He's such a character.
Faz taller than me. He's like 2 Fazes in height, guys. Even with my helmet on, he was still 2 Fazes in height.
Have you posted the picture of that on your IG?
The original one, yeah, last year.
Yeah, because I mean, you like, no offense, man, but he towers over you.
And again, like I'm not
He's
that
huge.
small. Like in the Thor suit with the wings, I'm almost like it's with the wings, I'm over 6 feet. With not counting them, I'm like 5'10", 5'11" in that outfit. And he's still like a whole half human taller than me.
Yeah, he's just a big man.
So at this
anyway.
one, I turned a corner and I didn't know he was going to be there this year. And just Assad Ribic was there, just sitting at the booth. So I was like, "Assad, how's it going, man?" And he was like, "Hello." Like obviously he doesn't know who I am, right? But
yeah, he's met thousands of people between.
And I told him I met him last year, and he was like, "Honestly, if you were in a costume, there's absolutely zero way that I would recognize you now." And I said, "No, I'm not saying you need to recognize me. I'm just telling you I love your work." Had him sign a King Thor, asked for a photo, and he told me to come around. Last year he came to me. This time it was on Sunday. He was not getting out of his chair. He was also very pleasant and docile, is how I would describe him. I assume shockingly hungover. Must have been.
I assume
after the Saturday of the
hungover.
On the other side, I told him, this works better for me. You stay seated. Last year you stood and you were like a full 3 feet taller than me. And he said, "This year you can be the tall one. Next year I'll be tall again."
So I'll be tall again.
Oh my gosh! Continues to be the man. Ryan, we got to get him back on soon.
I like, honestly, meeting him like over Zoom. I like, he was such a character. I can't even imagine meeting him in person, like so what funny. He would be like.
A couple more quick hits, listeners, before we get to the cosplay thing. 1, Alyssa fucking Wong.
Yes, you met Alyssa.
They were so cool. They drew an alligator Loki on my alligator Loki. Love it.
Was that the first time you had met Alyssa?
First time I'd met them. We did the interview like via Zoom, obviously, but not since that. Yeah. So
Will and I got to meet Alyssa last year at North Carolina Comic Con.
Exactly.
They were absolutely delightful.
So cool, super fun. Other quick hits. Olivier Coipel, cool dude, great Thor writer. Can't afford any of his work, but I got to say,
artist.
So that's nice. Yeah, great artist. Sorry, yes, artist. So good. He did the redesign for the modern Thor that kind of has been the base of the MCU and all designs since. Yeah. So you got to give him a lot of credit for what a great job he did. Can't afford him, but no one can. That's what happens when you're an iconic creator like that.
Olivier Coipel, we know, means a lot to another friend of Across the Bifrost, Martin Coccolo.
Yes,
he's a huge Olivier Coipel fan. So
that's right, Martin.
Nice.
I got to meet Olivier in person before I got to meet you, buddy. Let's get you to New York Comic Con next year.
Your Canadian came out real strong there. Hey, bud.
Yeah. Hey, bud. Okay, I got a couple more minutes. Let's do this. Who else was there? There was the big surprise and most exciting thing. Not most exciting. Al Ewing was most exciting. One of the most exciting things was Denise Camp. So Denise has been dominating the Ultimates run enough that I want to cosplay that character now, the Thor that he's doing, because it's just such a well-written story. They did an Ultimate signing for Marvel and just said the Ultimates. And it was the people from Ultimate Wolverine, which was just announced that day.
Which that design is so sick.
Freaking sweet. The people from Ultimate Spider-Man and Denise Camp from the Ultimates. So I got to pop on over, got a big poster signed by all of them. And then I also got the chance to get my Ultimates #1 signed by Denise. They weren't doing autographs, but I told him how much I loved the book, and he was like, hell yeah, I'll sign that. He also gave me some information about where the run is going, guys, and I'm not going to share it here because I don't know if it's enough that it would get him in trouble. But just know that I got a teaser that I'll tell Ryan about when we're not recording.
Ooh.
The
perks of having friends that go to Comic-Cons.
there were other awesome comic people I met. I can't list them all because we're out of time because I want to get to the cosplay competition. Just know that New York Comic Con is the place. So Marvel has a booth at New York Comic Con. For 2 years in a row now, I've been in the first 40 people there during the contest time, which means that I get to strut my stuff on stage in front of this year it was Lego people, and also one of the costume designers from Marvel, one of the lead costuming people. So very cool experience. This year, my buddy Reed and I went up as Thor and Loki. So I had my Thor the Dark World. He had his custom Loki God of Stories.
So good.
We got to go up. I got to yell for Fazgard and got a cheer. He got to jump in front of me and go for Loki, which got a bigger cheer. And then we did a bit of like hugging, a bit of hitting, a bit of posing, and went on our way. It was so much fun. I dare say we were the most charismatic team that were up there for the competition. Listeners, don't worry. I'm not tooting my own horn too hard. We did not win anything. There were other people who won the categories, but we had the most fun up there, I think.
Yeah. When you were all over the Marvel IG, for that stuff. Who and what cosplay ended up winning?
So the winner was a Doctor Doom cosplayer on a dinosaur.
Oh,
which was meant to be because the theme of the whole area this year was One World Under Doom.
One World Under Doom,
which is what they're going to next year in the comics, and the logo for that story is Doom on a dinosaur.
It's very appropriate.
So nobody had a chance in hell when he showed up with that and posed underneath the Doom with the dinosaur and then walked on stage as a Doom with the dinosaur. It's just
way to know your audience, man.
We're all playing for second place. There were also the bakers from Wakanda who were sick. It was a gingerbread Black Panther and then an M'Baku with a bakery hat and a I'm not sure if she was a Dora Milaje or a Okoye specifically, but she was really good. And then third place was an entire Fantastic Four. So 4 Fantastic Four, a Doctor Doom, and a Mole Man. So some very, very worthy winners. Happy to not defeat them. A lot of very high quality cosplay, and it was really cool to be a part of it.
So, Faz, any final thoughts on New York Comic Con this year? You did so much, man.
So much. And there's so much I didn't do because the thing about the con is you can never do it all. You got to kind of pick and choose. I think everybody's got to go at least once. I wouldn't do it like I did, where the first day I tried to get all my books signed and I ended up just running around and was very stressed the whole time.
Right.
The rest of the week, just kind of letting things come to me as they went was much better. Just enjoy the experience. You're not going to do it all. Just enjoy what you can, meet who you can, and just maybe you'll meet a mystical man who will do anything you want if you find him.
Man, I love that.
Anything.
Not anything. So everybody, that is our second edition of Tales of Fazgard, New York Comic Con, where I met so many of the All Fathers and so many great creators. And honestly, I love living vicariously through Faz on these big, huge trips. So everybody, if you want to support us, you want to check us out on IG, go to Marvel Thor Podcast. You can click a link in the episode description to check out Patreon. And then, we're going to see you next time for a very, very, very awesome episode. And we're very excited for what we get to do in this next episode. You're not going to want to miss it. It'll come out next Monday, just days before a very important book written by a very important person. But until then, we encourage you to, whatever you're doing, no matter where you're at, we encourage you to do one thing, and that is to stay worthy.
Whosoever holds this hammer, if it be worthy, shall possess the power of Thor.